My parents are immigrants into Canada. They came from Central Europe and they came here with absolutely nothing. And they were very modest. They only needed to have a company the size that was good enough so they could survive. I was ready to take the company to another level. And yeah, every idea I had, it was shut down. And I decided that it's probably best for my future that I leave the family business. So I sat down with my dad and I had that conversation, and he said, well, if you think you can do better, why don't you buy the company and have a go at it? So I did. After 2 years, I sat my father down. I said, listen, here's the financial reports of when I bought the company, and here's what it is today. And his mouth dropped.
This episode of the Fabricator Podcast is brought to you by MC Machinery Systems, the North American supplier of Mitsubishi fiber lasers, press brakes, automation systems, and advanced fabrication solutions. MC Machinery's fast bend robotic bending cell, powered by Aceta, helps fabricators eliminate bottlenecks, increase throughput, and achieve consistent production by combining advanced press brake technology with robotic automation. Backed by local service and support teams across North America, MC Machinery delivers the technology manufacturers need to stay competitive. Visit mcmachinery.com to learn more.
Hello, welcome to the Fabricator Podcast. We're on the road. We're at FabTech Canada here in June. Talking with my friend Rob Coleman.
Hello, Dan.
Of Canadian Fabricating and Welding. Hello, Rob.
It's great to be on the podcast again.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
And lo and behold, we have Gareth up at the table.
It's loud back here.
Yes.
There's a dust collector right across the way from us that it's impossible to hear.
See? So for all the many questions of why we don't do more on location shots in shops.
Yeah.
Actually, no one's asking that question, but
No.
that's the reason we don't do it.
Oh, we get that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we'll be speaking with Milan Popik of Metal Tronics in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada.
Just minutes from here.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Literally just minutes. And you can't say that about many things in the greater Toronto area.
Yeah, right.
Today's episode is sponsored by MC Machinery. Metal Tronics is a customer of theirs. So we appreciate them making the connection for us because Milan has a great story, and we really enjoyed talking with him.
Yeah.
One of the things I think is very interesting, he currently employs 18 people, yet over the last several years he's been able to triple sales with some key investments, and he'll talk a little bit about that. Definitely not afraid to kind of take that risk and do what's necessary to make sure that not only his family but those that work for him have a pretty good living.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But they've been around for like 40 years.
Yeah. Other thing that I thought was very interesting was like a lot of fabricators, they have a side business of doing grills.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get to that.
And I told him I was embarrassed. I actually didn't pick this up on the pre-podcast review of what exactly they do. I totally missed
Research?
this thing. Yes.
Yeah.
I was so focused on trying to get the pronunciation of his first name right instead of some redneck saying Milan or something like that. He had to remind me it was Milan, like they actually say it in Italy. But these grills are like for skewers.
Yep.
And really cool. And I was going to say, Rob, he actually in the website.
Traditional Italian.
Yep.
Spadini.
It goes, makes it easy to transport the grill in the car or simply carry it with pride to your friend's house.
There you go.
So just keep that in mind next time you visit. You get one, you just bring it by.
Yep. He's going to make you ship one down.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I feel that coming on.
Yeah. So not a ton of conversation about cooking lamb over charcoal, but there's always a second time we can have him into the podcast.
You said he'll be in Vegas for FabTech. So.
Yeah. We'll pick up the conversation there. So anyway, enjoy this episode. Once again, thanks to MC Machinery for setting this up. And we'll have some more conversations like this in future episodes here at FabTech Canada. So enjoy this conversation. See ya.
Tim Heston here from the Fabricator magazine. Every year I have the privilege to talk to some of the largest contract metal fabricators in the U.S. as part of our annual Fab 40 list, which we publish every June. This year the stories I heard were especially dynamic. The numbers are significant. They show just how much the industry has grown over the past 10 years. More significant than the numbers, though, is the sheer diversity of operations. The bottom line, there's no one way to grow a contract metal fabricator, a fact that the Fab 40 proves every year. Learn more about this year's Fab 40 at thefabricator.com.
Thanks for joining us today. Milan, do you mind telling us a little bit about Metal Tronics and how you got involved in metal fabricating?
So my story from metal fabricating starts at a very, very young age. So my dad, growing up, was a designer and used to design RF enclosures. So a lot of his customers would ask him to build prototypes for him as well. So in the basement of our house, he brought 3 machines. He had 4-foot guillotine shears that were manual. He had a small little punch press and a manual panel bender.
So this is in the basement of the house?
In the basement of our house. So it was interesting seeing trucks delivering sheets of material into a residential area. And he would bring them in the basement, and then he would cut them and punch the holes into them and then bend them. And as I was 8 years old when I found that so fascinating.
Yeah.
It was, from my perspective, you had this flat piece and you're creating a 3-dimensional part. So that's always been a passion of mine, is just to find a way to build stuff. Right. So I used to help him out in the basement, and then the business Metal Tronics came about, and we moved into a facility. And at a young age, whenever there was March break or school breaks or holidays, summer breaks, we'd always be at the shop. Me and my brothers would be there, sometimes playing around, sometimes working on the machines. When we were like 12 years old, we would trace out ninja stars out of metal and cut them out, sharpen them down, and then we'd grab a giant piece of plywood and start throwing them into the wood.
So we've had over 100 episodes, and this is the first time someone's admitted to making something like ninja stars, and now it hits me like, of course, what kid wouldn't want
It's
that?
got to happen all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I haven't even mentioned the throwing daggers, right? So anyways, but at the same time, we were learning how to work on the machines and set up the machines. So by the age of 12, I was already knowledgeable to set up a press brake. And then by 13, I learned how to use a multi-station turret punch press. And then, by 14 years old, I really much knew how to operate all the equipment. And I just loved hanging around with all the seasoned pros in the business and learn from them and see how they do things and solve the problems that they were facing.
Yeah. Did you follow up with your education, knowing that you wanted to go into metal fabricating, the family business?
So I knew I wanted to stay in the family business, but when I was in high school, I had to decide whether to go to school in the fabricating side. Where I found that I could be more beneficial is to go and study business. So I went to post-secondary studying business commerce, majoring in accounting. And I figured if I could learn that side of the business, the fabricating side I already knew. Mm-hmm. And then when I got out of college, that's when I started working at the company full-time.
Now, it wasn't always a smooth ride by the sounds of it. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Being in a family business as the young buck.
Well, when you come out of school, you have a head full of ideas, and you're very passionate and you're excited. And I was ready to take the company to another level, right? So at the time, my parents were the owners of the business, and I came in and saying, okay, here's what we got to do. I want to, replace this equipment with some new equipment, and I want to change this process and that process. And every idea I had, it was shut down. My parents weren't involved. They didn't believe in that it would be beneficial. We didn't have the money to invest into it and stuff like that. And it took a while, but after 22 years of being dimmed, I kind of had enough, and I decided that it's probably best for my future that I leave the family business. So I sat down with my dad, and I had that conversation, and he said something to me that just lit a fire inside of me. And he said, well, if you think you can do better, why don't you buy the company and have a go at it?
Wow.
So I did. And in 2014, I took over as sole owner of Metal Tronics. And from there, we've just been aiming forward.
Awesome.
So you'd mentioned before we started recording your interest in trying to kind of have newer technology and be an early adopter. Can you comment about how you got involved with laser cutting?
So I'm a true believer on working smarter, not working harder, right? And even though we need a good work ethic, we were at a point where we had 2 turret punch presses running full time, and there were a lot of obstacles with that. We were getting jobs that needed creative shapes, and for that you would always have to buy expensive tooling. So in 2007, we decided to buy our first laser machine. And it was we partnered up at that point with the MC Machinery, and they gave us a machine that got us through. And to be honest with you, it only took about 2 years, and we sold off the punch presses because we no longer required them, because the laser was definitely the way to go. And it opened up so many more opportunities. And you know, that was a big investment for us at that point. That was a big struggle. At that time, I didn't own the company yet, right? So to convince my parents to spend that much money, they didn't believe in it, but I did. And it was the best thing that happened for us at that point, because it really propelled us and gave us the opportunity for bigger and better jobs. Laser cutting has been our core, and we continuously work to try to improve it. So even though that machine, the first machine we had, was working fine, in 2014, after I took over the business, I sold it and I bought a new one.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, well, why replace the one machine that's still working? Well, because this one's faster. It's 4 times faster. I can produce more in 4 times. And I had that machine for only 6 years. And then the new technology came out and I bought that one. So I sold it. So I'm constantly upgrading the technology, because I truly believe it's important to be at the forefront of the industry. And if I can't cut the same jobs that my competitors are cutting, I'm going to fall behind. Right. So I want to be ahead of them. So now our latest machine we've had for 3 years, and it's got already AI implemented into it. And, MC Machinery's been the core supporter and partner for us to get the good quality equipment. We had a situation where a year and a half ago where our machine was still already now running 24 hours a day. How do we fix it? How do we have it? Let's automate it. We got an automation system installed on our laser, so now it can run without an employee being there. So as a prime example, last week on Friday, we had a job that needed 40 hours of laser cutting. We set it up in the automation. Friday at 3 o'clock, we all went home. Come Monday morning, the job's done.
So I find that fascinating, because a lot of people think to keep up with business opportunities, they have to bring on people. They might have to add another shift. But here you were able to kind of add a shift without really adding people. Did you have that in the back of your mind? Is like, this is an option for us when you bought your latest laser?
It wasn't. I didn't even think about it at the time. What I knew was that if you go down that route and you invest into technology and the opportunities will show themselves to you. And so that's what we were hoping for. Unfortunately, that's not a tangible thing. You can't calculate that until you get the
There's
equipment.
no course in accounting school.
But it's a risk, and it's a risk. And if you don't take risk, you won't move forward,
right?
And you won't develop the company. Even with the automation, and that we still had to find a way now how to improve the process. How do you cut cost? Okay, so I've already minimized my labor, but I still need to cut costs. How do you do that? Well, MC Machinery has the technology to help you with saving on gas. Yeah. We stopped buying nitrogen gas, and now we're producing our own. It's an investment, but the cost savings are tremendous. So, yeah, there's always we're always looking to some way to improve.
Where's the most recent area beyond the laser where you've thought about, okay, this process could be smoother, I could eliminate work hours for employees, that sort of thing?
So the latest one would be with the press brakes.
Okay.
So for the last 3 years, we've been running a second shift just for one customer. They were the same job, running 8 hours a day for 3 years straight. And with humans, there's sometimes human error, and I figured the best way is to automate it even better. So we purchased a new press brake with a robotic arm attached to it. And MC Machinery, again, has been great at providing us with all the equipment, getting it all set up, and now that machine can run in the background all day long, and when we go home, it can continue running.
Yeah.
So it's been a big help. So that's probably been the latest in the automation. We have also invested in other equipment over the years to better the service that we can provide to our customers. Years ago, we invested into laser welding before it was ever popular, and that's been a big help. That's provided a service to our customers that they can't get anywhere else at that time. Now it's more popular but that's been very beneficial, and it's been able to cut down on our welding costs. The latest one is we purchased a finishing machine from MC Finishing Department, and last year at FabTech, back in September, they were in Chicago. That's when they unveiled the product line, and I'm not going to be shy to admit it. I was the very first one to buy their machine, right there on day 2.
Right.
And after I bought one, people started seeing that a little more confidence in the product, and they started selling them more frequently. But yeah, I trusted the people that worked there. I trusted the equipment. It seemed like a good investment, and I just took the leap of faith.
Yeah.
It sounds you saved a lot of money on post-processing, both through the laser welding and by adding a machine that will take care of deburring for you. So how many hours do you think you might have saved over the last year having those processes available to you?
It's hard to say because I haven't reduced my staff as a result of this technology. The business is growing, and I'm not adding any additional staff. So what is important to us is to provide the right service to our customers, and being able to provide them more variety of finishes because we have this equipment is important. So now the guy who used to do all the deburring stuff like that has learned the finishing machine, as well as sometimes still has to do some manual deburring or grinding on welds and stuff like that. So it has helped us make more hours available for production, and at the same time grow the business.
Awesome.
And it's difficult. Yeah, I'm sure it's the same in the United States as it is here. It's difficult to find new people to get into the industry, to have a skill, or to have the want to learn the skill of fabrication.
Right.
Right. So I find it a little easier to teach them how to work the computerized system that does that job for them.
Right.
And along the way, they also pick up the skill of the fabrication.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's with everything. With the finishing machine, it's all digital. The press brakes are all digital. The laser machine, and even the laser welding too.
Yeah. So going back to your robotic press brake, I saw on your LinkedIn feed where MC Machinery helped set up a pallet changing system. It allows that robot to keep going even after one pallet's filled. Can you explain how that works? And was that something that was you had done right from the get-go, or did you add that later?
So that cell that we had installed is customized for us.
Okay.
Okay, so they provide you with options that you can do, and that pallet changer is very important to me because if it takes 2 or 3 hours to fill up a pallet,
right,
I need it to move out of the way, and another empty pallet moves into its place,
right,
and it can continue working. If I don't, the machine will stop, and then I need a human there to remove the finished products and bring on the new product, new empty skid. So that was important to us, and yeah, they were able to provide that. They have the right partners in the industry that can automate that and make that all happen. So we customized that to design. And if you ever come to my shop, you'll see we fit it in a very tight corner.
I was about to say, did you have to remove anything?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay.
Get rid of all your old machines and reorganize it. That's what happens. So yeah, we had to scale down on some of the unused stuff and make room, and we'll make it fit.
So is that cell running 2 shifts?
Right now, it's running a shift and a half.
Oh, okay.
Right, so like we start a job and we try to put a lot of the long-running jobs on there, and then once it's set up and running, we just let it finish the course of that job. So sometimes it's 6 hours, sometimes it's 8 hours.
Wow.
So
wow. Yeah. So moving from there to the, we've talked about laser cutting. Now you have robotic press brake bending. Does that really cater to like laser welding? Being that, your precision now, one of the things we've always heard welders struggling with are just inconsistent parts, and how processes need to be consistent to get the most out of the technology.
That is true, but the quality of the parts that come out are only as good as the people that set up the machine.
Okay.
The machine will be consistent, but if you don't set it up properly, and the person putting the program together doesn't do it properly, then you won't get the good results.
Right.
So it's a combination. The one thing that the automation brings you is repeatability, consistency, efficiency. I don't know any robot that can work faster than a human.
Right.
So my press brake operator can bend faster than my robot. I won't argue that. But my robot never goes to the washroom. He never takes a lunch break, never comes in cranky, and he's always in a good mood, We sometimes put a smile on him so that he looks like he's happy. But over the duration of a year, it is more efficient and more productive than a human.
Yeah.
And with the systems they have now, they can even replace the tooling. I don't have that system. I didn't want to have the automated tool changer, but they have that too. So now you just download a program and let the robot do everything, right? But you still need a human to take the first off, check the quality of it, and then move on.
Yeah. Are your press brake operators involved in the
No.
automatic press brake?
No, I found that even with like laser welding, the hardest thing is to teach a welder how to use a laser welder. You need a laser technician. And the same with the robot. The press brake side of it is all done by software.
Yeah.
They'll tell you which tooling to use and that. But you need a robotics guy to know the robot. And so I'm quite fortunate and blessed that my son went to school for robotics and he learned that. So, just like any other family business, my dad made me come to the shop, and sometimes I'd rather be at home playing, but I learned a lot being there. I made my kids go to work on weekends and that to help me out. And, growing up, they said the same thing I said, I'll never work there. I'm going to do something different. But my son went to school for mechanical engineering, electrical mechanical, and learned robotics. And now I bought a robot, and he's happy to be working in the family business and running the robots for me.
You mentioned earlier, you said something earlier that not many other people would probably pick up on, but we were talking about you have a new branding effort going on at the company, and you mentioned aim forward. That's your key message. But we were talking about family in the business, and the other son is sort of helping you with your messaging for this new branding push.
Yeah. So my other son, I've got two boys that work in the business. My other son he worked in the film industry, so he's very good at being creative in that. And he approached me and asked me if I had a spot for him to work in the family business. And so I found his strength of being creative and innovative was help me rebrand the company, put us a little more out on social media. He's done a few videos. We do have a product line of our own where we make stainless steel charcoal barbecues.
Okay.
Give him a little plug. It's called the Milano Grill. It's a Spadooch barbecue. But so he's helping me rebrand those as well. So he analyzed the company as a whole and said, this is where we got to head towards. We need to aim forward. And I said, okay, aim forward. What do you mean by that? And he said, well, AIM. It stands for Automate, Innovate, and Mastery. So let's automate our processes as much as we can, whether it's machinery and equipment, whether it's software. It can be a software that helps us do quoting or to do design work. We need to be innovative, come up with solutions. I have multiple customers that do have the exact same equipment as I do, but they bring certain jobs to me because they can't figure out how to bend them. So they'll laser cut them for me and bring me parts because we try to be creative. We try to find ways of solving problems. So we innovate our way in providing that kind of service to our customer. And then mastery, he just says, well, we're just damn good at what you do. So let's be masters at it.
Yeah.
Let's send that message out. We're damn good at what we do. So so we're going to aim forward. And it just rolls off the tongue.
It does. And do you feel like this is going to help you? Is it all about getting new customers? Is it making your customers understand you better, and maybe even getting more business from customers that you already have?
Yes, all of the above. For us, being a family business, every one of my employees, I treat them like their family, and I call them my family. We are a family. We are Metal Tronics family, and every one of them is important to us. And the same way, the relationship we have with our customers is important to us. So a lot of the customers that we have, I don't want them just to send me POs and me ship finished product out to them. I want to have a good lasting relationship. So the channels of communication are very important. So it's important for them to see that I care about them, I care about their products, and I care about the quality I provide them and the service I provide them. And I find that the best way to do it is to give us that little edge, and to give them what they need is through innovation, is through the technologies, through the equipment that we are investing into.
Do you think going through that exercise with your son on the branding side kind of helped you sort of internalize that a little bit more, so that you could express that to your customers a little bit better?
Yeah, because like what he's described is not something that we're doing new. That's something we've been doing a long time, and he just put it into words, right? So
Right.
now the fact that we're able to put it in words, it's become part of our core values in our company, and it's going to be all over our website so that customers, our existing customers, can see, and new customers too. We want those new customers. We want those new relationships. I have the capability in the facility now to provide a service. I want to maximize it to as many people as we can.
Yeah. Do you see your sons? I mean, obviously they're the third generation.
Yeah.
But do you see them kind of representing the future of manufacturing in Canada? Being that, you know, they're doing different things, but they're still applying their interests within the metal fabricating business.
For sure, because I know them well enough that they're going to want to learn more and grow. And the way the industry's been changing, with AI also coming into a lot of these equipments now, there's just going to continue to be more areas to grow in. I also do have another third family member that's in the business. He's my son-in-law.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he's running my production facility. He's our production manager and takes care of all the jobs as well. So it's kind of growing a little more.
Yeah. Every day's a holiday.
Every day's a holiday.
How many people do you have working for you?
So right now we have 18 employees.
Okay.
So when I took over the company, we had 16 employees.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And it took about a year or two to get our plan into action. But after that, in 5 years, we were able to triple the size of the company
Wow.
in sales, and I added 2 employees.
Wow.
And at that point, we didn't add any square feet. So some of the technology we introduced also was software to schedule the jobs on the equipment. Every employee has tablets that they log on and off to
Okay.
get jobs. Information is at their fingertips. It saves time, saves money, so that you can produce more
Right.
on an hourly basis.
Are they scanning the jobs in and out, or are they logging it in on the tablet?
You can scan or log,
Okay.
but by the time you turn the camera on to scan
Gotcha.
and this and that, like sometimes it's easier just to
But
type.
everybody's pretty good about it.
Well,
That's the reason I asked the question.
so the biggest as a business owner, the biggest thing that you find is that people are set in their ways and they have habits.
Yeah.
So don't try to change their ways.
Right.
Try to teach them new habits,
Right.
and that's a difficult step. But I'm reading a book right now called Atomic Habits, and it's teaching me a lot about how to try to get people to change without them really having that urge to go back to their old habits, right?
Right,
How to
yeah.
motivate them, and that's really important,
Yeah.
because sure, some of my guys are a little bit older and they don't want to have to start focusing on a screen
Right.
to enter the jobs, but if we don't have that information, we can't be at the forefront of the industry. We cannot provide the service to the customer that we need. So it's important to us. So it takes a while to get it ingrained into them, but for the most part, it's been good.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we're talking about this branding, and I don't want to belabor the point, but there's so many things you can do with that. I'm sort of thinking about it. You're not trying to grow the number of people in your factory necessarily on your shop floor, but you want to encourage them to see the value of how you do things, the way you do things. Do you think the branding exercise kind of helps them understand how they already contribute or they can contribute? Like if you do hire somebody new, you can show them that and say, we want your ideas. We want to make sure that we continue to innovate. So do you feel like that's another way that could benefit you?
Absolutely. Every one of my employees are passionate about the work they do.
Right.
Not everything always goes perfect. So if there's an error that's made, my guys feel really bad about that. But I don't want to point fingers about you did this wrong or you did that wrong. I have a saying that says, actually my son taught me this one too. It says, failure is only failure if you don't learn from it. So if you make a mistake, learn from it and move forward. Now, if you repeat the same mistake a second time, then we got a problem, right? But so with them being so passionate about the products that the jobs that they do, putting into the industry, onto the internet, showing how passionate we are and how much we believe in our company is a reflection of how much we believe in our staff. And then they're proud of being a part of what we're doing globally.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and yeah, it is difficult to find the right people to bring in, to teach them, to train them, so that's why I decided that it would be easier to try and go the route of the technology and see how far that'll take us until we have to start bringing in more staff.
Right. How do you find competing in the metal fabricating area in the greater Toronto area? You said previously before we were recording, like, how you've always felt Metal Tronics was good about being a little bit ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And maybe that helped. How is it? I
truly believe that the metal fabricating companies should be a community that sticks together and helps each other out. Some of my greatest friends are in the industry and are my biggest competition. And sometimes on social media, we'll trash talk each other. So if you can imagine somebody posts on LinkedIn something about his company and how well they're doing things, and he's got like 100 people that liked it, and I'll throw in there a comment to try to, cut him up a little bit. And it raises a few eyebrows, but that's the relationship we have.
Right.
And I do work for other people in the industry, and they do work for me.
Yeah.
I won't try to do something I'm not good at. People ask me, do you provide powder coating services? I don't, because I'm not good at powder coating.
Yeah.
I'll let the powder coaters do their job,
right.
and I will turn to them. Tube laser cutting, I will go to the professionals and let them do that job.
Right.
I will do what I'm good at,
yeah.
and they know that too. If they could probably do the same process in-house, but if they could save money
right.
by giving it to me because I'm automating it, then they'll give it to me. So I think it's important that everybody tries to work there. There's enough work out there for everyone to be busy.
Right.
Right? It's the people that, and there's a few of them, that they try to come and undercut jobs to steal your customers from you.
Right.
And that happens, but those are short-term gains.
Right.
Yeah.
And that doesn't last.
Right.
Because if I'm a customer and somebody gave you my information and I'm going somewhere else, you don't have a relationship with that new supplier.
Right.
You don't have that trust built in them. And that trust is a big factor. So if we prove to our customers that we're reliable and we've been around a long time, then they're loyal to me as well. And there's been times where I've gotten jobs to quote, and I know my buddy is quoting it or is doing jobs for that customer.
Yeah.
I'll call them up and say, listen, just so you know, they're trying to get other suppliers in, and I'll turn that quote down because I won't step over that boundary. It's not worth it to me.
Right.
Because it's more important that we establish those relationships. I don't need to be watching my back all the time.
It's interesting you talk about what you're good at. How do you? That's a bit of a challenge as you grow a company, as you continue to make money. It's hard to kind of stay in your lane or not get into powder coating, get into tube cutting. How do you keep yourself focused on that, or what's been your approach to that?
It's a very good question. It's a very good question. It's important that we focus on what our goal is. Now, if the time comes when I start sending out $100,000 worth of laser cutting, tube cutting every year,
Right.
and it's better for me to buy that machine, then I will. And I'll become good at that too. right? I'll make sure I get the right team, and we'll become good at that. But right now, I wanna, like I said, about being in the leading edge of the forefront of the industry, I want to do something that's better than other companies around me, so that even my competitors can come to me if they need me, and I'll go to them. But at the same time, if they become good at that process, they'll keep it in-house. So it's a give and take.
Yep.
But I think it's important that it's much easier and less stressful if everybody just kind of look. Let's work together. Let's figure this out and move on.
How's it been to learn from your kids? I mean, I think it's hard to, even as an adult without kids and, having younger colleagues who, like, I listen to their advice, but, some days it's like, come on, you upstarts.
So
was that a learning process for you?
It was a learning process. It was quite an interesting one because when my kids were young, they would always ask a lot of questions, right? And I would say, they say, but how come? I go, because Daddy knows everything. That's what I was. My final answer was, Daddy knows everything. And now they're teaching me about stuff. And yeah, but I've always been the one type of person that I've always had the ambition to learn. I want to learn more. I want to be a little bit smarter today. Let's look at it this way. If you improve 1% every day, in 1 year you've improved 365%. So I will go to that 1% and learn something new every day. And then whether it's from my kids or somebody else, it's important to read books. It's important to listen to your podcasts, because those are a wealth of information about stuff that I may not know about. So if it makes me a better person, it'll make me better at my job. And I don't have to be I'm not responsible for just one position. I'm responsible for families. I've got the families of all my employees. And to make sure that my employees have work so that they can provide for their families. I got my own family. I've got, my parents are still active in the business.
Really?
Yeah, my dad's still involved. He shows up to work. He says he only works half a day, but his half a day is like 12 hours. So
literally half a day?
Yeah, so
for those of you at home.
So it's important for me to make sure I try to do the best that I can in my position, because there's a lot riding on it.
Yeah.
So learning from anybody, but I learned a lot from my kids for sure.
That's amazing.
What's your take? What's your parents' take on where the business is now?
That's a really good question. So my parents are immigrants into Canada. They came from Central Europe, and they came here with absolutely nothing. So everything that they built, and they were very modest. They only needed to have a company the size that was good enough so they could survive. That was the old school way. I just want to produce enough so I could put food on the table and put a roof over our heads.
Right.
And in the beginning, I got a lot of resistance. Even though I owned the company, there was a lot of opinions from my parents about, don't spend that much money, don't get too much in debt, be careful. And after 2 years, I sat my father down. I said, listen, like, when I bought this company, here's the financial reports of when I bought the company, and here's what it is today. And his mouth dropped. It absolutely dropped. And from that point on, it's like, I think he had that aha moment where he's like, all right, I should stay out of this and just keep quiet. So
in a way, he's learning from you. Like, I mean,
so
you're just describing.
He's learning from me, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Do you think he enjoys the business as much as when he was doing it? Because I know it's more, hands-on, and now it's still hands-on to a point, but there's so much more automation involved.
He still likes to come in and share his opinion.
Yeah.
And so we have to try to be careful of that. But he always means really well.
Yeah.
But because I don't want to burden him with too much responsibilities,
Right.
So I don't keep him up to date with the day-to-day the operation of the business. So then when he comes in, he might not understand why things are working a certain way, and then he's questioning it. But I think he's enjoying his a little bit of more free time. My mom's enjoying that he's around a little more.
Yeah.
And then if he's home too much, he calls me up and says, don't you need him to come in? So
what kind of stuff do you throw his way?
Oh, he loves driving. He's a people's person, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Going to see customers, dropping off deliveries,
Isn't that awesome?
and chatting up with the people, keeping in touch with them. Goes to pick up, parts that we purchase and stuff like that. So that's, for the most part, that's what he does.
Oh, cool.
Have you and your son produced like a corporate history video of any kind?
No, not yet.
That would
not
be,
yet, but
that'd be
that's
really
a
cool.
great idea. We do have a wall in our shop, in the offices, that when my kids were born, my dad got an ink pad and put their feet and their hands into the ink pad and put it on the wall. So I got their fingerprints and their footprints on the wall. So every time we paint, we always avoid that one section. So
wow.
they've always been a part of it. It's family is everything to us, right? Like work, success in a business is important, but it's not everything.
Yeah.
Family is the most important, and we're trying to make work as much fun as you can, make it a family environment so that people enjoy coming to do their job.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I've got to ask about the grill. So if a metal fabricator is making their own grills, I assume they're also cooking on their own grills for holidays or get-togethers.
So, my product is. The Italians have a product called spaducci.
Yes.
It's like lamb on skewers. So it started about 20 years ago, where my cousin's husband, he's Italian, came over to me and said, "Listen, can you make me one of those grills?" And I was like, "How much can you buy them for?" He said, $150. I said, "No, go buy it. I'm not making it for you." He goes, "I want 5 of them, and I want my name cut out in it and everything." So we started working on a design, and we came up with a product that like works much better than anything else on the market. Like the charcoal lights up so much faster just because of we call it the innovative air circulation system that we implemented. It basically is a stainless steel trough that holds charcoal, and you lay your skewers down on top and grill them that way. And we offer the service of customizing it too. So for Father's Day, we do promotions. For Father's Day, if you want to put your dad's name on it, it could say, Dave's Grill or whatever else. We can laser cut that. There's a little fee for it. But it's just something that and then it took off. I just got back from Europe as well, where I met with 3 different distributors over there that originally showed interest on distributing it in Europe now.
Right.
So, why not? Why not? And it started off as a product that we would build when we were slow. Mm-hmm. So usually this end of December, January, February is a slow time. And so we would build stock and keep inventory and then sell them throughout the summer.
Yeah.
Right. And we also have distributors locally in Toronto area that sell them for us.
Wow.
So yeah, Europeans, we love our food.
Oh yeah. I love your food.
Yeah, exactly. We all love your food. Yes.
So where do you hope to see Metal Tronics in the next 5 years?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I want to just keep moving forward day by day.
Yeah.
I want to have a plan. I want to set goals for us, and then see where that takes us. Right. The industries that we cover are a big variety. We don't have products for one specific industry. So because of the range that we have, there's always room to cater to a broad spectrum of different products that we can produce. Wherever the journey takes us, we want to be a part of it, and we want to be the best that we can on that journey and provide the best we can to our customers.
You mentioned automated quoting systems, that sort of thing. I mean, that's just one thing, but is there a certain bottleneck that you see that you think will probably be the next one, or are there certain bottlenecks? When I say bottlenecks, I say that very loosely. You can always be more efficient in certain areas, but are there certain places in the shop that you're like, oh, that might be the next place, or,
At the moment, as long as there's free hours in the day, then we have the capability to do more. So there's limited bottlenecks as far as production.
Right.
Okay. In the office, we'll get to a point where quoting would be a big responsibility. The only way to do that is if we have the right software, we have the right people trained, is maybe just to increase the staff. and get somebody else trained to assist with that, because we still want to be able to provide the service to our customers. Our goal is that any new leads that come from the website, we respond to them within 2 hours, just at least to say, we got your information, we're working on it, and try to get a quote out within 24 to 48 hours. When we see that that's not happening, then we have to put another action plan into place. So we want to adapt and innovate and automate and become masters at what we do.
Subtle.
That brand messaging is getting through. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think you guys, I think I did enough talking. I think you pulled it all out of me.
Well, we want to thank our friends at MC Machinery for making it possible for you to visit us, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed the
If
conversation.
I can mention about, when you mentioned MC Machinery, I call it a partnership with them for 17 years, because I trust their service. I trust what they offer. I trust the employees, the people that I deal with. The quality of the equipment, that is the scariest thing that I have ever had to do, is go to a bank and borrow millions of dollars to buy equipment and put your home residence on the line. Like, if things don't go well, I remember times growing up when my parents went through a recession, and that was very difficult. And so that's a risk. And MC Machinery has always been there to help me along the way. And I trust the quality of the equipment or the products that they sell. I trust what they're doing with the business, the way they're moving it forward, and what they're bringing in, the future technology that they're innovating and bringing to the market. So that partnership is really important to me. So Thank you for bringing that up. But yes.
So, yeah, when it comes to risk, there's anything you can do to help kind of support that jump into the unknown. It's a positive.
And it was worth it.
Yeah.
Every risk we took was worth it, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much again, Milan.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Rob, sitting in.
Dan.
And if you have any comments, complaints, criticisms, send them to podcast@fmamfg.org. Thank you for joining us today.
The Fabricator Podcast is a production of the Fabricators and Manufacturers Association. The show is hosted by Dan Davis and Lincoln Bruner. The podcast is produced by Gareth Slager, recorded by Griffin Hammond, and edited by Dana Weicker. Additional support provided by Andy Flando, Elizabeth Gavin, Sarah Spring, Amy Hudson, Mike Owens, Billy Kolpa, and Pat Simon. If you like this podcast, check out the FMA Podcast Network. Thank you for listening.